Okay, so tell me if you've been here. You have this great coaching conversation with someone. Maybe someone you've formed this awesome connection with. You've had a really amazing coaching conversation. You propose your program or your coaching to them, and they say, I would love to, but I can't afford it. I don't have the money. My husband just lost his job, or I'm already paying back this other coaching program. There's no way I can afford it. And your heart sinks because you see so much as possible for this person. Or maybe your scenario looks a little more like this. You go into the conversation, and the entire time you're in that conversation, you're dreading the proposal because everyone you've talked to for the last 3 weeks has said they couldn't afford it. And is it true that some people just can't afford it? Absolutely. But it's also true that coaching around that no is the most important part, or can be one of the most important parts of the coaching relationship. So I wanted to shoot this video to help you not coach around objections or create strategies for what to say when someone says I can't afford it, what to say when someone says my husband just lost his job, or what to say when ... Excuse me. And while these strategies are really helpful, they're only helpful when you first really taken into heart two things. The first is that decision, coaching them through that decision, is where the real climax of the coaching conversation happens. Most coaches look at I'll draw no, I don't have any paper. The arch of the coaching conversation is from the beginning, and the climax is at the proposal. And if you've served them powerfully enough, then they'll say yes, and the money won't be a problem. But that's really not true, actually. The climax, the first peak of the coaching conversation, is at the proposal. Look how much we've done. Look what we've created, and here's what I see for you. Will you marry me for a short period of time or a long period of time? And they say, I'd love to, but I can't afford it. The real impact, or perhaps the most profound impact you can have as a coach, is coaching them through that decision, from the proposal to the outcome. Sometimes that outcome is a true no, and sometimes it's a true yes. But this part, after the conversation, after the proposal, is where you can build the most trust and the strongest foundation for work when they say yes. Or to serve them even more powerfully, to get them to realize that it is actually a real no, but they don't have to leave anything on the table. They don't leave doubting themselves or their ability to invest or anything like that. So imagine, well, let's go to the second part actually. How do you do that? How do you coach them through that part when you're terrified or you don't know how to get them from no to no or no to yes? And the thing that I'll offer you with that is that if you're so terrified about that, then you're making it about you, not them. If you're too afraid to go into the no, you're making it about you and not them. I heard a quote the other day that was really powerful, and it was that there's no such thing as rejection. We hear no all the time, and it doesn't matter. We hear no from friends, we hear no from bosses, we hear no from, asking for discounts at a clothing store or whatever. We hear no all the time, it doesn't matter. Rejection is no with a meaning attached. So what are you making it mean about you when your client says, or the person in front of you says, no, I can't afford it, or I have to think about it? And if you take it back to them and away from you, you can really dive in to what that means for them, not you. Now it's hard, of course, because their decision does impact you as a coach. It impacts your income, and it impacts the way you work. But the paradox of coaching is that the more you can separate from that, and it doesn't mean anything if they say yes or no, the more powerfully you are able to serve them into making their decision, and the more likely you are to create a coaching partnership with a yes. So consider when you're in that moment, am I making this about me? And then if you are, then just for a moment take on the frame that you're coaching them. They're already your client, or some other client has already just paid you $75,000 in full and it's sitting in your bank account. You don't need the money. And you were trying to help them decide if they should go back to school or not. How would you coach them through that conversation? How would you help them see whether or not that was the right decision? and take on that frame. Make it about them again. When you really understand these two concepts, that this is where the real power is, most people, the things that are going to hold them back from saying yes are going to be the exact things that hold them back from taking massive action in your work together. The same thing that prevents them from saying yes to investing with you are likely the same things that get them creating space and time for themselves to grocery shop and food prep and take time away from their kids to exercise and work out. So if you can coach them through that major decision, you're creating a really powerful, strong foundation for your work together. Like I said, sometimes the no is a no, and that's okay. But make sure that they're not leaving anything on the table. And you're not leaving anything on the table because you made it about you and not them. I had a couple conversations in the past couple months with several different women who wanted to work with me. They loved the coaching conversations, but they couldn't afford it. It was just too much. They had never spent that much on, weight loss before. But when we really dove deeper, in both cases, it came down to two things. This isn't always true, but it was true for these two. I don't trust myself because I never follow through on anything. I'm, 50 years old and I'm still having the same problem, so I don't actually believe that I'll follow through on this. Evidence tells me otherwise. And the other one was, I'm afraid I'll invest all this money and I won't get results. This is a big one for coaches, because how do we guarantee that our clients get results? We guarantee that we can't guarantee it. That's it. I can't guarantee you're going to get results. It's all up to you and what you put into this. And I am here to support you to get everything out of it that you can. So when we dove in to both of these distrusts of self and fear of not getting what they wanted, I was able to support them to actually come to the yes. And because of the process that we went through from no to yes, our coaching partnership had so much more trust, so much more power, so much more foundation. So if you're fearing the no and you're not sure how to coach through that, first, know that that's where the power comes from. And second, where the power is created. And second, make it about them. And say all of it to them. Be totally open and honest that this is where, in this decision, we can create the most foundation and power for our coaching relationship. And if it's a no, it's a no. That's okay. I just want to make sure it's a true no and not I can't afford it, which is really something deeper. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you would like more support on coaching around no's, or you're getting a lot of no's, or a ton of people that can't afford working with you, then comment below, share with me, allow me to support you to support them. If you have another coach that you know that's just getting no, and is terrified of that word, then please forward this to them and share the love.